Good morning, everyone. So when I looked up today's stops online, I did not see anything about road closures. However, once I got here, the gate was locked, forcing me to walk the rest of the way. So I think it's about a half-mile walk, and we will be to our destination. Welcome to the Murray Springs Clovis Site, a place that takes us back 13,000 years to one of North America's earliest human cultures. This site, located in the San Pedro Riparian National Conservation Area, holds incredible clues about the Ice Age, early hunters, and massive animals like mammoths and bison. Now, before we dive into history, here's what you need to know if you're visiting. The access road is closed to traffic, so you need to hike along the road to get to the site. It's an easy walk, and once you arrive, there's a half-mile interpretive trail that loops through the area. That said, the site appears to be in a bit of disarray, possibly in preparation for restoration work. The signage is still up, but keep in mind, it may not look as polished as it once did. But don't let that stop you. This site is still an incredible window into the past. As you hike in, you'll see where the interpretive trail begins, just to the left of the main path. This short loop takes you through key points where researchers made some groundbreaking discoveries. Even though the site is weathered, you can still get a feel for what life was like here thousands of years ago, when Ice Age hunters tracked massive animals across this landscape. Murray Springs was discovered in 1966 when they found stone tools known as Clovis points. These are finely crafted spearheads used for hunting some of the largest animals at the time. Alongside these tools, excavations uncovered butchered remains of mammoths and bison, showing just how skilled these early hunters were. One of the most fascinating discoveries here is what's known as a black mat layer. This thin, dark soil deposit dates back about 12,900 years and is found in multiple sites across North America. Scientists believe it's connected to a major climate shift known as the Younger Dryas cooling effect. This period saw sudden environmental changes that may have contributed to the extinction of the Ice Age megafauna like mammoths, bison, and even ancient horses and camels. So what happened to these massive creatures and the Clovis people? Scientists have two main theories. Overhunting hypothesis. The Clovis people were expert hunters, but some believe they hunted these animals faster than they could reproduce, leading to their extinction. The climate change hypothesis. The sudden shift in climate caused changes in vegetation and water sources, making survival difficult for large animals and the humans who relied on them. The evidence here at Murray Springs, especially the combination of Clovis tools, butchered bones, and the black mat layer, suggests that both human hunting and climate change played a role in shaping this prehistoric world. These competing theories continue to fuel debates among experts, but what is certain is that Murray Springs provides critical evidence of this turning point in history. The discoveries here help us piece together the last chapter of North America's Ice Age megafauna and the role early humans played in shaping their environment. Whether by hunting, climate pressures, or a combination of both, this era marked the end of one world and the beginning of another, paving the way for new ways of life to emerge. As we conclude our hike, it's incredible to think about the long history that unfolded here. This landscape has changed over thousands of years, yet traces of the past remain beneath our feet. Picture this, standing at the riverbank, gazing across the landscape, imagining the sights and sounds of the past. Thousands of years ago, this very spot may have been the gathering place for Clovis hunters, processing their latest kill, crafting tools, and surviving in the changing world. The echoes of history feel alive in this place, and a quiet reminder of the people who once called it home. So definitely a pretty cool stop, pretty neat place. I would imagine the reason it's probably technically closed right now, or the gate's closed, is this place is in definite need of some upkeep. I'm sure you could see on the camera all the signs and reading materials were pretty toasted by the sun and weathered away. So I would imagine that maybe that's why it's closed at the moment. They plan to start redoing some of this stuff, but all in all, fascinating. I love to just kind of stand there and visualize the events that took place back then. So now we're gonna hike back down the road and head to our next stop. All right, so we are now at our second stop and we are headed to a ranch. The hike from the parking lot is 2.2 miles round trip. You follow an old road that makes for an easy walk. Now, there is actually a people gate right there to the left of the horse gate, but I love gates, so we decided to take the gate instead. As we make our way down the trail, imagine what this landscape looked like back in the late 1800s. This was a place where cattle drives passed through, cowboys worked the land, and the untamed frontier stretched for miles. All right, so we have made it to the Clanton Ranch. This ranch was once home to a family deeply entangled in the lawless frontier of the 1800s. It served as a strategic base for operations, both legal and illegal, at a time when Arizona was still shaping its identity. Today, there's not much left of the site, just a small mud corner and a concrete foundation, but in its heyday, this land was a meeting place for cattlemen, drifters, and outlaws. It was here that fortunes were made and livestock changed hands, sometimes not legally, and men drew their guns to settle disputes. The Clanton family was one of the most infamous names in the Arizona Wild West history. They were deeply involved in cattle rustling, smuggling, and disputes with lawmen, most notably their infamous rivalry with the Earp brothers, which ultimately led to the legendary gunfight at OK Corral in 1881. This ranch was the heart of their operations and shaped the lawless frontier of southern Arizona. Just as we were leaving, I found a path leading off into the brush, and what I discovered was unexpected. Massive trees that had been cut down. Now, who would have done this? Maybe ranchers, maybe conservation work, or maybe, just maybe, the Clantons themselves? They were known for bending the rules, and it wouldn't be surprised if they shaped this land to fit their needs. Just to show you the scale of these things, there were some massive trees sitting right down in here. All right, so we're headed back to the car. And I have to say, seeing the old ranch house was pretty neat. Being able to stand there where the Clantons stood. And, but the trees, they're the only two there. And you saw how massive they were. There appears to be no other trees in the area that I can see that are even remotely close to those two. So I'm not really sure what kind of trees those were or what was going on with that, but I think that was almost the neatest part. All right, so now we're at a bit of a stop that you wouldn't really think much of. McDonald's. Right here in Sierra Vista, Arizona, history was made in 1975 with McDonald's first ever drive-thru. Military regulations at nearby Fort Huachaca prohibited soldiers from leaving their vehicles while in uniform. Franchisee David Rich saw this opportunity and installed a drive-thru window, allowing soldiers and soon the general public to grab food without stepping out of their cars. Inside, all that remains of this historic moment is a small plaque and a few pictures, but its impact is undeniable. It may look like any other McDonald's today, but this location has changed how we experience fast food forever. So we have made it back to camp. Today was a fun day. Pretty interesting stuff. Always love the items of the past. It's always fascinating to me. So I'm gonna end the video here. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. I will see you guys on the next one.